Hello and welcome! Over the past few months, I've played over 100 games of Overwatch 2 ranked play. During that time, I only had one goal in mind. That goal was to find out how toxic Overwatch 2 really is. I wanted hard data that proved how I felt about the game wasn't a mistake. So I set forth on a journey that would change the way I looked at Overwatch forever. My first step was setting up an experiment my 7th grade science teacher could be proud of. If I play Overwatch, then I will be sad, or something along the lines of that. With my hypothesis now in place, my next step was defining variables that I felt represented toxicity in the game. Here's how I set up my experiment. Each day, I would play 3 games of Overwatch ranked in the support category. Each game, I would switch how I communicate with my team. Game 1 would be using voice chat and saying hello at the beginning of every game. Game 2 would be enabling voice chat, but only using it when specifically asked to use it, or basically only for hearing friendly comms. Game 3 would be no voice chat. Each day, the orders of these would switch. You would not believe the difference each of these communication styles make in your games. I wanted to collect more information, though, on each game. So I decided I would keep track of 4 other variables. Did we win? Was it toxic? Was it overall a positive experience? And did my team use voice chat? Here's a graph of how a normal day would look in this experiment. So, is Overwatch 2 toxic? After 34 days of 3 games a day, I finally had an answer. And that answer was yes. Well, I mean, kind of. Here's what the numbers say. About 19% of your games are going to have some level of toxicity. I guess 1 in 5 games isn't too bad. But what if there was a way you could decrease that number even more? Would you be surprised if I told you using voice chat at the beginning of every game decreased toxicity by 5% overall? I mean, just take a look at the differences between communication styles right here. It's crazy the difference it makes. Beginning the game with a simple hello can be the difference between a toxic and non-toxic game. In fact, the numbers show talking versus just being in the voice chat can make a difference of 9% less toxicity in your games. I don't know, maybe your teammates humanize the player behind the screen more, or maybe you just play more focused when you talk. I'm not really sure what the reason is, but the data doesn't lie. Now, maybe you're sitting there saying to yourself, you know, I'm not some baby. I don't care about if my teammates are toxic. All I care about is the win. Hey, I can relate to that. And this next stat may not surprise you as much as the first. The data shows when I communicated in the game, I won drastically more matches. 10% more, in fact. Take a look at how each communication style compares when it comes to win percentage. So talking really does help you win more and reduce toxicity. Interesting stats to think about, and hopefully it helps you rethink the way you play the game. But at the end of the day, we have to realize it's just that, a game. If you're not enjoying the game, why are you even playing it? This next stat isn't as cut and dry as the other ones, and may be more opinionated, but I thought it was important to note. My overall positive experience while playing Overwatch was around 72% across each communication style. I guess I do enjoy playing Overwatch. But, once again, when I asked myself, how can I have a more consistent positive experience, I found the data showed talking in voice chat improved my experience by 13%. This is a big jump. Alright, I'm sure you get it by now. Voice chat equals good. But what about when it's bad? I've always personally felt when someone is toxic in voice chat, it's much worse than someone being toxic while typing. You know, those words just cut a little deeper. Let's take a look at what happened in games that were toxic and voice chat was used by my teammates. First off, there were 9 games in which voice chat was used to be toxic, totaling around 9 out of 68. Or roughly 13% of the games in which voice was enabled. Was that toxicity worth it? Well, maybe actually. Of those 9 games, we won 5. That's a 55% win rate. And now before you get any ideas that somehow being toxic to your teammates is actually helpful, I should probably mention that when a mic was used and we won, 80% of the time it was a positive, non-toxic experience. So there's probably some correlation there. I hope you're sitting down because this next bit kind of blew my mind. There was something that really surprised me after this experiment. After all these games, I found out the worst thing you can do is be in voice chat and not talk. I thought for sure not being in voice chat would have the most negative effects on the gameplay and make you lose the most games. However, I found you end up winning 6% more while not in voice chat rather than being in voice chat and not talking. It didn't stop there though. I also found only 18% of non-voice chat games were toxic compared to 24% of voice chat enabled games without you talking. After those stats, this one falls right into place too. Non-voice chat games are nearly a 10% more positive experience. So, I guess the moral of the story is, if you aren't going to be using your mic, you're better off not in voice chat. You're bound to win more and have a more positive experience. This experiment took quite a bit of time and effort to pull off, but I think the results speak for themselves. I can say with confidence now, many of my preconceived notions about this game and how to play it were wrong. I think it's safe to go ahead and throw my hypothesis right in the trash. In fact, I think I have a new hypothesis for all you Overwatch players out there. If you play Overwatch with a mic, then you're gonna have a good time. That's it for me on this video. I hope you learned something and feel inspired to jump back into the game with a new outlook and climb to your highest rank yet. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to me. It really helps out tremendously. If you're not hopping off YouTube to go play Overwatch right now, why not check out 3 Rules for Ana's Sleep Dart or this other video.